All righty. Well, welcome everyone to our Tuesday night professional networking Zoom meeting. We are Collaborating Connections, one of the TTR networking groups. TTR networking has been around for over 12 years, and Collaborating Connections has been active for about the past 5.5 years. We are all about building wonderful relationships and educating our members to preparing them for success. Uh, we would love to meet you all out there who are listening to this recording. So if you are interested in being a part of our group or visiting and sharing a little bit about yourself and your business, we would love to meet you. Please reach out to us either via email or contact us through the TTR networking website or our Collaborating Connections Facebook page. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, and we'll look forward to seeing you perhaps next week or sometime in the near future. I want to welcome everybody who is on the call tonight. Hope that you all had a great time this past weekend with the weather. It was absolutely beautiful here in the Midwest, and then Mother Nature decided to make it a little cool again. But spring is here, and nicer days are ahead of us. As we do every week, I'd like to start off our call giving an opportunity for everyone to share any wins or good experiences, positivity that has occurred in your life or your business within the past week. So, it's always wonderful to have great experiences and wonderful things that motivate us to keep going, but we would love to celebrate right alongside of you. So anybody got anything they want to share?
I'll jump in because you know me.
All right.
So, win or learn around here, right? This past weekend, obviously, our big show for the spring came and went. Was a big show. Everything was wonderful. Met, like I'd shown a little bit earlier, met some new people that can help out with some of the supply stuff for the business, which is really nice. About an hour before this call, I was doing a Zoom conference learning about 17 hats. I had talked to you a little bit earlier, and 17 hats is a CRM. It is a customer management software platform, and they had a whole thing on it, and it looks fascinating. So that will be being brought into the business soon. So yeah, I'm just really stoked. The show season's over, so I can get back and get focused. I can get my stuff up on the TTR thing and get that
Referral runway.
finished, because Lord knows I've been taking forever on that, and get the website updated. Catherine talked to a lady today, and I might have some appointments coming that way. So it's just, yeah, everything's starting to pick up. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Great.
Wins across the board.
Awesome. Congratulations. We're happy for you.
Yeah, it's a great time. Sun shining, and CB had a great. Where was the event at? I'm sorry. Where was it?
This was down in Cincinnati. It's Sharonville, Ohio, which is kind of northwestern Cincinnati. So it's up near 75 and 275, I think it is. It goes around Cincinnati. And it's a big expo convention center up there. So it's a really nice place. They have a bunch of meeting rooms. So yeah, I got a really nice Facebook write-up from one of the people who sat with me. So that was fantastic. And there were people like that responded back to it on the Facebook page. So it actually got me a little bit of business on Sunday. So that was wonderful. So put good energy out there, good energy comes back. You put the bad energy out there, you're going to have bad energy come back. So keep it positive.
I think I heard
Absolutely.
that somewhere. Did you guys hear that before? Or heard
Think you've heard it from CB before. Yeah.
Oh, that's true too. CV is probably it. Yes, probably it. Good.
Well,
Good job.
thanks for sharing. Anybody else got any wins they want to share tonight? Well, I'm going to share as part of my 12-week year planning. I have renegotiated some of the goals for my various businesses and endeavors. And as part of the collaborating connection goals, I set for myself is to, earnestly sit down and think about those warm referrals. So I did that this week. I accomplished it and got referrals sent out. Some just today, but doggone it, I got them sent out. So I hope that everyone has taken a look at their email and able to follow up on any referrals that I've sent out to you. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a holler, and anything else that I can do, I will keep at it. This is going to be one of my regular weekly routines. So if you are curious about how to effectively do your warm referrals and connect members and prospective clients, let's talk about that as well. It's something that certainly should grow to be routine for all of us. So that's part of the reasons why we're here. So that's my win. Anybody
Okay,
else?
I'll tell you what my wins were. I made Business Spotlight on Friday. It's a free event. I really strongly suggest it for everybody. You have 90 minutes and you hear about, I would think 80 or 90 people introduce their business, and it'll give you an idea on who to contact. And if you sign up, you get everybody's contact information. Well, Saturday morning, I was sitting out on my back porch and I sent out 44 email texts. I did texts, of which I got 8 returns, and I've set up 4 1-to-1 so far.
Oh, good. Cool.
Wow.
So now but I mean, it's just doing something, because I was there the month before and honestly, I did nothing. I just kept my list. It doesn't help. So this time I made an effort to do something with that list. So that's what I've done. I've started doing one-on-ones with people.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that, Nancy. It was so nice to see you there.
Yeah.
Can I just throw out there, we were talking about it on the executive board, that was what Nancy was going to do with that, because if you go to this event, it's the adrenaline gets pumping. I mean, it's exciting because there's a lot of people there, CB, Melissa. I mean, I'll tell you, there's a lot of people and it's very exciting. But if you don't do something with it, I got one email, Nancy, and it was a very much a, what do you call it? An automated email today from somebody that obviously, because I registered, and I don't know, Nancy, you can speak to that and we can talk about it at some point, but I mean, if you want to talk, I don't care. But, if you register, you get your name on the list. So even if you can't attend, your name is there, and then you get the advantage. You don't get the book. I mean, obviously you have to attend to get the book, right, Nancy? And
Yeah.
but your name is there and they put your contact information. So, CB, Melissa, Robert, anybody, you get your stuff there. But it's, I got this very automated email today and I thought, at least this guy's trying, because there's 90, 100 people that register, whatever, maybe 80 to 90 show up. But, you know, it is, I mean, I give Nancy a lot of credit because we talked about it last week and, you know, that's where the breakdown is. There's events happening all over the place and the adrenaline is extremely exciting. You know, I mean, I think that's what's addictive about it, right? Those of us who've been networking for a long time, that's why you get into it. But the follow-up is where it is. And if you're
The
not
fortune
doing
is in the follow-up.
it,
You're
is.
exactly
And
right.
if you sign up, because we are TTR, we're on like the first page,
Yeah.
because we are
yeah.
in his other groups.
Yeah, he kind of gives us some special treatment. So I would
So if
just,
you sign up and if you can't make it, let me know. I'll send you the list next month.
well, and I was gonna say, Nancy, I might even ask you to do that because I feel really bad that I didn't make it. But I mean, and honestly, you do have to be aware. I mean, maybe I won't go off on that whole thing, but you know, a lot of those people are never going to respond. They're never going to reach out to you because that is not what they do. They are professional networkers. They go to networking events and they'll hand people cards, but they'll never follow up with you. But then you're going to find a handful. But CB, that's a whole, you know, 90, 100 people. Well, yeah, that know you now from there. And, you know, I mean, what's the percentage? Probably out of 100, you might, 5 to 10 people might need a photographer, and they might not actually need it right now, but now you've got your name. One
On
of
a list that says you're a photographer. Yeah.
That's what
There
you need
were
one.
more than 120 people on the list last week.
Yeah.
I was there and I wasn't even on the list, and I wasn't the only one that was there
right.
who wasn't on the list. So
If you
literally,
could send out that information, I'd appreciate it because I'd love to show up or go or whatever's needed. I don't know. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's great. I would recommend it to everyone. And then we have the advantage of we're encouraging each other to follow up. You know, you don't have to wait for somebody to reach out to you, of course.
Right.
You're in the driver's seat where you have information, you have a contact name, a business, a description of who they are, how to get in touch with them. You know, we're ready. Let's be proactive. If the fortune's in the follow-up, let us get that fortune. It's something that we'll continue to encourage each other to do and continue to share the opportunities that arise where we can do that and effectively pursue success for all of our businesses. Yes, Jennifer.
I just say one thing really quick while you're thinking of that. Just remember, I mean, we talk about it a lot and I think we all know it, but reality is one follow-up is not going to be enough.
Right.
You might, because somebody might need a mortgage today. Somebody might need a photo today, you know, they might, but more than likely you're going to have to put them in your tickler or your whatever you call it, the CRM that you're using, whatever. You're going to have to make an effort because I mean, there's a lot of different sources, but 5 to 12 times you have to reach out or something. So just be aware of that. But and that's the only thing I'd say about the event is awesome. It gets you really excited. You meet a lot of good people, but you just have to be realistic that the majority of those people are not going to follow up with you. You are going to be the one to execute, but you've got the tools. And Nancy just showed 44 of those she made, and she got 8. Did you say no? 8?
8
Yeah.
replied.
So
Yeah.
far.
Okay, so in May, because there's a choice here, there's the business spotlight on Friday, May 12th, but then there's a race to support small business on the 19th. Which one would be a better choice if you had to pick?
Oh. Well,
What do they do at Race to Support Small Biz?
it's not an organized 45-second intro. But it is a networking collaboration with TTR. Who's the other ones? There's 2 or 3 other ones. Whiteboard learning. So there's a collaboration.
Inspire.
and Inspire, but I think there might be one other one, and I don't, but last year they had H7, they had Geist Networking, they had a couple others, but we are one of the few that actually pay for the partnership. So I don't want to sound like I'm proud of myself, but I am proud of myself that we've kept that connection and we are supporting it. So I don't know, Nancy. Dawn, did you go to the race to support? I was there, but I don't think I was there for the whole time. The weather was really yucky, and it was, I think it was.
I
What
don't
did they
recall.
do? What did they do?
Well, they stand around, there's snacks, people are networking,
yeah.
you're getting people's cards, there's sponsorships for the
Door
event.
prizes. There are individuals, I did go last year, I remember now. And there were businesses represented there that I had not met previously at other local networking events. So I would deem it worthwhile. They did door prizes, they did some introductions of, individuals to the whole audience, but it was a lot of mix and mingle and talk amongst the people that were there. It was a good event. So I certainly would try to make both, but if you could only do one, I guess it's the toss up. If you're interested in seeing folks that you may not have met before at any other networking event, the race for a small business might be a good idea for you. Or if you're interested in doing some follow-up with, the individuals that you're familiar with that go to that Friday event. I think you said you've been twice now.
Mhm.
45 seconds is a little bit of time, and which makes the follow-up very necessary. But if there are some folks that you definitely want to target and do a more in-depth discussion with, I guess you have to balance that out, which one you're most interested in.
And a little different time too, Nancy. It's 3 to 5 on the 19th, I think, or 3 to 5.
6.
Yeah.
3 to 6.
Yeah.
And then the other one is lunch. So
Lunch.
if you have to, but I don't know that we have a format. There might be, and we do have that running on our social media. I know that we've got that. So it's called Race into Small Business or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to mention, as we're talking about the follow-up, and CB mentioned the 17 Hats CRM. I wanted to take the opportunity to mention, as I did a couple of weeks ago, and I'll probably do this every meeting going forward, about send out cards, and the fact that we've got 3 affiliates of Send Out Cards as a part of this weekly meeting. And it is just an excellent resource to utilize to maintain connectivity, appreciation of our customers, potential customers, our relationship contacts. And I want to invite anybody who's interested to set up a free account and send out one free card. CB and Robert and Melissa, I'd be happy to send you a link to do that. Just kind of test the waters and see what you think. And I'd be happy to even walk you through. So if you're at all interested, look forward to receiving that from me. But I share that because tried and true, it is an excellent resource for maintaining and building relationships with our clients, potential clients, and partners. I still want to keep the floor open for anybody else who wants to share any wins before we move on. Anybody? Okay. Then next, I want to invite Jennifer Johnson to give us some updates on what's going on within TTR networking. There's always so much wonderful content and programming in addition to our weekly meetings. So she can share with us those details. Jennifer, take it away.
Well, thank you, Dawn. You're sweet. I'm sitting here thinking I look really rough. Okay, thank you, but I do. I know that if you are even a TTR member or you're new to TTR and you want to get out and meet a few more people, we have on Friday morning, we have our 8:30, we're at the Haverstick Coffee. We're there from 8:30 to 9:45. What is happening is we have a couple of our members that always end up being there. But it's our Westfield group that's sponsoring it or hosting it. TTR is sponsoring it. We do have to rent the room. It's not a big deal. If you've never been to the Haverstick, I would encourage you, please join us. It's pretty cool. But really, so my sister just emailed or texted me that a lady I went to school with died. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, so that is on Friday at the Haverstick, and I would like you to register if you can, but if you can't, you're welcome to just show up. I can't tell you who's going to be there. I don't even know sometimes. Sometimes I send it out. I'll send it out tomorrow again, kind of with the email that says, did you register? Why not? Here you are. But that's on Friday. We actually have, and I do want to make sure that everybody knows very quickly. Oh, wait, first of all, we have the race or the Choose to Move is on Saturday, April 29th. And that is the Indiana Parkinson Foundation, their run walk, big fundraiser that is in Witten Park. It is on our Facebook. I sent it out to everybody, all the members. We have a team. So if you're like really wanting to walk and you really love that, we'd love to have you, but you don't have to do it in Fishers. You could do it in your own neighborhood. You could donate virtually and don't even walk. It's fine. I don't care. We do have a team that the director of the Indiana Parkinson Foundation belongs to our Northside group, Kim Williams, and she led that group for a couple of years. She's an unbelievable referral partner. If you don't know her, you need to know her. And I know you're not right around the corner, some of you, from her, but I would encourage you to meet her. Anyway, so that is on Saturday, April 29th. And then a week later on Saturday, this is very weird, kind of unique kind of thing, but we have, if you are needing your CPR certification updated anytime soon, or if it's expired and you need to renew it, Amanda Starr, who was, I think Melissa was Nancy was there and Dawn was there, but at the, she was down on the south side at the happy hour last month, and she took some names of people that were interested, but she did, we kind of got together and determined there is a certification scheduled for Saturday, May 6th. And it's actually, I think it's the Jaeger building in Fishers, but it's $40. You do have to pay in advance. And it's a networking event as well. So, if you know somebody who needs CPR certification updated, don't hesitate to look at that as an option, because that's it's a 2-year certification, but it's only $40. And there will be some snacks, and it goes from, I think she has it scheduled from 9:30 to noon. I think she's going to throw in some food, some odds and ends of goodies, but also she's going to do some training. I think there's some training on if somebody's choking or bleeding. There's been a really big renewed push for people to have a lot of people are looking to get the certification, even if it's not required, for their job or something. So Amanda had approached, well, she had talked about doing it before, and then she said she tried to do it with another networking organization, and it really fell all apart. So we're trying to be a little more organized about it, but you do need to, and if you can't find it on our social media, please let me know, because we'll make sure that you get the link, but it does have to be paid in advance. But there is a carved out time for networking. So it's, we just don't know. I don't think it's got a really big sign up yet. There's a few, but that's May 6th, which is still a few weeks away. It's a Saturday. And yes, it may not be the most convenient day of the week for anybody, but if you need the CPR certification, it's going to be it's well worth your while, because I think that's drastically discounted. I have never really compared it, but I know that Nicole was extremely excited about it. So that for the next couple of weeks, that, and then I will just jump ahead and say, yes, May 19th, but I think you said, Nancy, that it would be the 12th would be the business spotlight, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not looking at the calendar. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, it may be, yeah. So anyway, so the 12th, you've got the business spotlight at Pinheads. And then on the 19th, you've got Race into Small Business, and that's at Launch Fishers in Fishers. It's a different kind. They are two different kinds of events, but you're going to meet a lot of different people. So we've got all of that on our website. We may not have the business spotlight. I don't know if we've actually shared that on our page yet, but we can do that. And I'm pretty sure Ryan's probably got it out there. So, okay.
Are we confirmed yet for a happy hour? A TTR
Well, that
happy hour?
we're going to do a happy hour on the 18th of May. And that's the date, but no, I'm not confirmed on a location.
Okay.
We actually did back in February. Yeah, that would be it. We were at Brewburger in Carmel, and I thought it went well, but we had some people that were not happy about certain things. So I will make a decision in the next day or so, but I'm sure they'd be happy to have us. If you've been to a Brewburger before, it was fine. They treated us really well. The parking kind of sucked. And there were some other odds and ends of just finding it, but it really wasn't that hard to find. So I'm not sure what the problem was, but anyway, yes, thank you for saying that. The happy hour, yes.
All
And
right.
we are going to do happy hours every month, right, Nancy? She's shaking her head. Yeah.
Yes, every month, Jennifer, don't drop.
Consistency.
Okay, whatever you say, people. I put them on my executive board, and they think they can boss me around. I don't know. Anyway, but we have a lot of things coming up, guys. So,
Okay.
and if you have something like Robert, when is your open house? Oh, you're on.
You're
Oh,
muted.
you're muted. Is it the 29th?
No, April 27th.
April 27th.
Yeah, from 11 to 1.
Because it's been, we've had that out there. You've seen it, haven't you?
I have not, but I've not been out there.
Okay. Well, okay. So the 27th. So it's yeah. So it's next week, not this Thursday, but it's
Right.
11 to 1. So
11 to 1.
I was just going to say, though, if you have something like Robert sent that to Dawn, and I think and then Dawn forwarded it on, or I saw it as well. But if you have something coming up, you have an event, this is what we want to do, is put it out there. So
Absolutely.
please let us know. We don't do that for everybody. I mean, we do it for our members. So that is, anyway. But thanks for asking, Dawn and Robert. I hope, you're not taking RSVPs, you're just kind of an open door.
Well, we want you to RSVP because we want to make sure you have enough food for people.
Okay, so, okay,
We're gonna feed you. There's nothing you need to do. Just coming out, just pay attention. We have some fun out here and see
Yeah.
what we're doing. That's it. And we'll give you a meal as well.
cool.
So we've
Well,
got it
that's always
posted, Collaborating Connections posted it on LinkedIn and on our Collaborating Connections Facebook page. I
Mhm.
know it is on the TTR Networking Facebook page. And I have sent you some new referrals and referral runway and
Okay.
that are realtors that I hope that you share this event with, and I'll probably float some more your way yet this week's to give them time to get the information in their hands and for them to pass along to their circle of influence people that might be interested in attending. So
Good.
as well for the rest of the Collaborating Connections members, if you want to, I can share Robert's flyer with each of you. If you've got a database of folks that might be interested in going to this mortgage banking related open house to find out a little bit about get educated, have some fun, as Robert said, get some good information, please share. That is what we do. All righty. Let's go ahead and get into our roundtable introductions. And since we're on the topic of mortgages, Robert, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure, definitely so. Robert Hailey, Old National Bank. My goal is really to help low to moderate folks to become homeowners, really to spend time education to those who are not homeowners or looking to be or thinking about it or just want to understand that what their options are. I think most people do not become homeowners because one, fear of the unknown, fear of not knowing what's going on. We have a great program to help folks who do not have money become homeowners, but most importantly, to help you where you are, to be there. I've been doing this business over 25 years, so really spend time in this field to really make a difference with the folks itself. My open house is again April 27th. Come on out just to introduce, just to say hello, have a good time. You have some food on me, and get to know, see we are, because we are in the community we've never been in before, so we are trying to let people know we're here. And you come on out to support, be fantastic. Robert Hailey, Old National Bank.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robert. Do we have any questions this evening for Robert Hailey?
I don't have a question. I'm just going to say, if you look on the social media, there is an email to send your RSVP to. So that's good. And I hadn't seen that, but it's there. So, but you're going to send the flyer out, Dawn, right?
I'm going to share it with the Collaborating Connections group. Yes.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Righty.
Hey, Robert,
Hey,
you want us to register or even we're just coming out to support you?
Yes, we want everybody just to come out. Again, that's what everybody's coming out to support. We want to register and know that they'll have a head count to know how much food we need to order.
Okay,
Yeah.
will do.
Yeah, so that's all it is there for, just to know how much food we need to make sure we have enough food to cover everybody. So that's what we ask people to register.
They used to do that all the time before the pandemic. And then the pandemic kind of kiboshed a lot of that. There used to be open houses all the time. It used to be really fun to go and get all this free food. I don't mean to sound like that's all I'm coming for, Robert, but I just want you to know that
That's all right.
well, I
that's
was
all
about
right.
to
You get
ask, is there going to be chocolate?
Hey, come on out. We got some, some food and some snacks, have a good time. So hey.
Awesome.
But you know what? If you weren't feeding people, they would probably, they'd drag their feet. Food does definitely makes a difference. And chocolate's even better, right?
Absolutely.
For sure. I'm just giving you a hard time, but I just happened to look at that. That's good. glad that we are talking about it
All right.
for sure.
Okay, Melissa, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure. I'm Melissa Johnson. I'm a financial coach with Primerica, looking to help folks understand better their money and how they spend it and how they can save it, and educate folks on different investment opportunities that are available. I'm Melissa Johnson with Primerica.
All right. Thank you so much, Melissa. Do we have any?
Melissa, I heard a rumor you can check my car insurance rates.
This is very true. Yes. One thing that I can very easily do is reach out and to you, and you can compare your auto and homeowners insurance. On average, every person that I've referred to that program has saved money, including myself. It's just a phone call to a group that we use, Answer Financial, and you just need to have your declaration page of your auto and homeowners, and they can see, they'll tell you if they can't get you a better rate, but if they can, they would be more than happy to do so. So I would be more than happy to help anyone who is interested in just a quick call to see if they could save some money. Thanks, Nancy.
That's actually a pretty big deal in this group right now, Melissa. We need that. We need to know those things, In some groups, you might not be encouraged to talk about all the different things that you offer, but this group, it's good to know.
Okay.
I mean, and I don't want to, because I want everybody, and I hope that you all understand this. We do want to know all about what you do. That's why we know that Nancy does, has her pets, and Robert's involved in the 100 Men, those things. I think those make you, but when you're talking about your products that you're offering, we don't have anybody doing the insurance like that. So it's a really big deal, and that's good to know that they're saving people money. That's really good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Hey.
Thank you, Melissa. Hey, CB, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure. I just tell everybody I love listening to how you do it real quick, because I'm still working on trying to get my elevator speech down. So you guys that have been practicing this and doing this, you inspire me to keep working on mine, because it's so good. So thank you out there, because I'm sitting here listening. I'm like, okay, what are they putting together? And I'm trying to put the pieces in my head, and I really should write something out, but I want to try and make it spontaneous, but where it sounds good. You guys flow so well. So just thank you out there, guys. I'm CB Bjork. My business is Ascension Imaging Studio. I am a photographer. Doesn't really look like it, but 50 years of experience working with headshots, product photography. I do aerial. I am a licensed drone photographer, FAA licensed. So I have the ability to fly them in all sorts of different events and things. So if you are needing any imaging, any branding done, and you want to use photography, because that is one of the big things with social media to get seen, reach out and let me know. We'll set something up and get you going. So have my contact information over to the side.
All right.
Yes, Jennifer, wherever you are on my other screen.
Jennifer,
You're muted, Jennifer. Yeah.
I thought I was funny, and then I get muted. All right. But that means you're like, I don't know, if there's 50 years of experience. How old does that make you, CB? Come on.
I'm 55.
You've been taking pictures since you were 5. I'm happy to hear that. That's actually
My parents had a newspaper in Bartonville, Illinois. It was the Limestone Independent News. And on Friday nights, me and my little camera would go with my dad, and we would go up to the high school football games or basketball games or whatever, and we would take pictures up at the local thing. And I would stand along the sidelines with my dad. This was before, lawyers and insurance got involved in what went on, and take pictures of the teams and the games and all that. So I've been doing this for a really long time, but turning it professional. So
Well,
that's,
that counts, right? I mean,
yeah, I've been published. I mean, I've been in newspapers. So I've
yeah.
worked for Olin Mills doing photography for them, portrait work with them. I've worked with daycares, going around doing daycare photography. Shooting babies is wonderful, but really not what I want to do. But looking at doing other things and going that way with my photography. So
But that's really, I do think it's good to know all that, because there are some people that would have a camera and say, oh, I think I'll just start taking pictures. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? It's a job. I can do it. I'm creative. No, not everybody can do it, right? They shouldn't do it. So I just thought that was kind of funny myself when I said it, but
yeah,
that you're
I've been doing it since long before digital. So
okay. Makes sense. That's good to know. That's really good to know. I mean, I'm saying it, but you guys, that's good to know. He's got some experience behind him.
Very cool. I did send you a referral today, CB. I hope that you got that. And if you have any questions, give me a holler.
it actually came as the bounce back. I didn't know if you saw that, or didn't know if you were included on that. But
Yeah,
apparently,
yeah.
um,
But she's still there. The bounce back was just kind of communicating that email isn't the best way to contact her. She's available by phone as well. So I'd
yeah,
recommend that you follow up with her that way.
yeah. So yeah, but yeah.
All righty, let's see. Are there any other questions or comments for CB? All right. Nancy Vesley, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Yeah, I am Nancy Vesley, IHC Specialty Benefits. I'm a local licensed health insurance agent with a ringing doorbell.
Okay.
And since I'm the only one that can hear the doorbell, I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay, we'll go to Jennifer. No problem. Jennifer Johnson, are you ready to introduce yourself and your business?
Sure. That's kind of funny. I was thinking, is there anybody else in her house that can answer? I am Jennifer Johnson. I'm a relationship marketing coach and the founder of TTR Networking. You all know that. I actually help position you to stay top of mind in authentic ways by creating personal connections that make you your prospect's first choice when it's time for them to buy, when they're ready to buy. So you, like we said earlier, you have to be the one, I help you with all those kind of follow-up things, all those things that keep you in the top of their mind. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, but, and it's listening to that inner voice that we call promptings and doing what is you. Who are you? Not, oh, I've got some things I could tell you, but it isn't, nobody else can tell you who you are. I was the singing insurance agent many years ago. And I've got people now who get my voicemail and they'll say, I really like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that's on there. But I still sing quite a bit. So it's part of what I do. So anyway, who do you know that's out there that maybe is just kind of lost? Maybe they've started a business. We talk about it all the time. These last few years have been a little crazy for somebody starting, or not even just starting, just trying to get really refocused, reignite. Ignite, we have an Ignite program and we have a mastermind program. So we are trying here at TTR to help you with whatever the need is that you have. If it's to really kick it off, we'll be there for that. But we can also just help you kind of get reignited. And it's just, CB, we were talking earlier, he's he's got all kinds of things going on, and he's not negative. You know, he's not the very beginning, right? You've been doing this a little while with the photography. You've got the experience, but you're putting all these things, and things are starting to happen. It's action, right? It's you're executing. You're not sitting around waiting.
Well, it's putting all the pieces together, but putting them together correctly.
Right.
And while I would have loved to have been up and running back in January or February, life does unfortunately sometimes get in the way. But I've still been working on getting all the stuff put together and going from there. So nope,
Yeah.
it's one step at a time.
Yeah. So who do you know that's maybe like CB that maybe doesn't have all the pieces, would like some help? Invite them to our group. But CB actually brings so many good resources and referral possibilities for our members too. So even if he seems like maybe he doesn't need us, he does. We all need each other. So good to see you. Thank you. Is that what I was supposed to do, Dawn?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Now, strange, but I had to go to my front door. Someone knocked at my front door. My husband, who works third shift, is still sleeping right now, and I had to go answer it. Well, anyway, sorry.
We're all going to start using the
Whoops.
thing that somebody's at the door. Somebody's at the door. I'll see you later, guys. All right.
Well, Nancy is not returned, so I will go ahead. Wait a minute. Do we have any questions for Jennifer? Anybody? Well, I guess before I go into my spiel, I just wanted to say, I am so glad to have met Jennifer years ago when we did. I love to be able to talk about TTR networking and collaborating connections when I meet someone, especially those who are just getting into business for themselves, the entrepreneurial game, and trying to figure out how they're going to manage it all at once. To have a resource like TTR networking and collaborating connections, where there are experienced individuals who know what those resources are, who know the focus things, how to keep your business front of mind and your clients and potential clients view is awesome. So Jennifer knows what she's doing. And if you know of anybody who needs to be a part of a networking group, who needs wonderful referral partners, who needs connections to new and clientele, please share with them about TTR networking and collaborating connections. It could certainly make a difference. My name is Dawn Evans Casey. My company is Spa Travel. We are a full service travel agency. Been in the business for more than 5 years, helping our clientele have memorable, enjoyable travel experiences. So if you know of somebody who is looking for a vacation or travel package, transportation, destination, whether it is domestic or international, cruising, destination rail, excursions, tours, Spa Travel is here to help. My name is Dawn Evans Casey, Spa Travel. Are there any questions or comments related to travel that I might be able to entertain this evening?
Dawn, okay. I'm sorry, my phone does not let me know if I'm muted or not. I'm sorry, it takes me a minute.
No problem.
I joked with you earlier today not joked with you, but I talked about Hawaii. And literally, I know I told my husband, I said, I mentioned it to Dawn, and he said, I think the way we were talking about it, I would hope that you could maybe look around just to see, and maybe that's, it'll be an education for us, as well as maybe it'll be something we can, talk a little bit more on during the group, and you and I'll talk off of the group too, but just kind of, we went to Hawaii many, many years ago and enjoyed it immensely. I don't know how many of you have been able to go, but I would just tell you, Hawaii was the best thing we ever did, and it was not cheap. It was very expensive. But it was also, we took our 3 teenage kids who are now in their 30s, and they enjoyed it. They had memories that were amazing. And then we were also just so everybody knows, we were talking briefly about Mexico, because we went for our honeymoon to Mexico, and we'd love to go back sometime, but Dawn was bringing up a lot of things about traveling to Mexico that I wouldn't even think of. And I think that's something to remember when you're talking, whether any of us, you talk to, all of us are experts in our area, but there's a reason you talk to somebody like Dawn. There's a reason you talk to somebody, like Nancy and Melissa, Melissa, you may be starting, but there's a reason, because there's things that you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? And
Absolutely.
Traveling to me seems like, oh yeah, you just get on there and you book it, well, no, it's not quite, I wouldn't even think about it. Now my husband might think about it, but I would probably just say, oh, we're going to Mexico. We're not going to Mexico anytime soon. I want to go to Hawaii first. But anyway, so I would love it if you would, and we can talk about it another time, but it just reminded me why we talk to people who have expertise. You're listening to CB telling his whole trail of all he's done. I'm thinking, my gosh, he's got experience that, a lot of photographers probably would like to have on their resume, but don't have. But, I don't know. It's just, that's why we all get together and share things about each other's businesses. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So Dawn, if you can help, that'd be great.
I sure can and will.
Thank you. All
No
right.
problem. Hey, Nancy Vesley.
Hey, how are you?
Someone came to my front door while you were away.
They really did. They really did.
Really? Wait, were they
Yeah.
trying to sell pest control to you?
No.
No. It
Okay.
was like he was just so he had a spew, and I had to let him finish it, because I know what it's like when you're all worked into it, and it's like, and then they shoot you down. It's like, oh my God. He was on a roll.
Oh, good. You allowed him to get a little bit more experience with his pitch.
Right.
For you. All right. Well, Nancy Vesley, are you ready to introduce yourself?
We'll
and
try
your
this again.
business?
Yes, I am Nancy Vesley, IHC Specialty Benefits, health insurance. I can do small businesses. I also go into the Medicare market and help seniors with their Medicare choices. Small businesses, individuals. There are a lot of people that are getting removed from Medicaid these days. So if you know anybody that gets that letter in the mail and starts freaking out, they don't know what to do, have them call me and we can walk through it. Also pets, dog and cat insurance I also have, and my insurance does pre-existing. After a year on the policy, it will cover a lot of pre-existing conditions. That's what I've got. That's what I do.
That's wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, Nancy Vesley. Does anyone have any questions for Nancy this evening? IHC insurance, removals from Medicare, pet insurance, anything?
Okay, Nancy. My husband is getting to the age where he's asking me a lot of questions about his Medicare potential. I guess there would be maybe 1 or 2 questions. I am correct that I believe we are correct that if he's still covered by his employer's policy, even though he might turn 65, he doesn't have to take the Medicare until he's not on the group policy, right?
Right.
And the employer can, I don't want to sound mean, but they can force him to take Medicare, right?
Yes.
That's their option
Yes.
if he's working for them. But if it's available to him, he should, more than likely an employer is going to require, or not, I shouldn't say it that way. They can decide, but I mean, the older their population in the group, the higher their rates are probably going to be, right? So they're,
Right.
even if they didn't make my husband quit or retire, I don't mean quit, they could say you can't be on the policy anymore because you've got Medicare available.
Right. Legally, they can tell him he can't have the insurance after 65. But
Even
companies, all the knowledge is in that group, that demographic. So chances are they're not going to do it.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, but they don't legally have to cover you after that.
So those are all, I mean, and I think there was something, one other question, Nancy, just so I have it, and hopefully it helps everybody. When you're aging in, which is when you turn 65, and maybe we are not thinking that way when you're 55, CB, but it'll come quicker than we all think. But when you are 65, it's still that you have the 3 months before and the 3 months after you're 65. So you have a 6-month window to make that determination, right? I mean,
Right.
to shop. If you decided, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking this out loud while I've got you on the phone, while I've got you on the call. If you decided, no, if you were going for the Medicare supplement, you can't be declined, but you can be rated up, right? For your medical. Because he's got a couple things, not terrible, but he can be rated up, right? Isn't that, you can't be declined for a Medicare supplement if you're aging in, correct?
You can't be declined for a supplement. You're right. But I don't think you're rated up for supplements.
Okay. All right. I wanted to make sure because I'm thinking, so I don't know if you guys, I mean, and it's something, talk to Nancy about it, but he's got a couple things that right now he's got a pain pump. He has continual back pain, and the only way they can maintain or, take care of it is to continually pump pain medicine into his, anyway, it's weird, but we're trying to figure out how that all plays into this. And I was under the impression that I thought you could be rated differently, but maybe that, yeah. So we'll talk about it as he gets closer. He's 63, Nancy. I'm sorry. I'm just asking because we're trying to, and I know that you're the one that I'll talk to when it's that time. So,
Thank
but
you.
I want to bring it up. So, okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Cool. Thanks, Nancy. Let's see. So that is it for our roundtable of introductions. And I mentioned this is Accountability April. So that is the topic of our discussions this month. I wanted to talk about how many of us have heard that phrase and believe in the phrase that we are responsible only for ourselves and our own feelings. We're not responsible for someone else's, feelings or perceptions, etc. That's something that, a lot of people, you hear the saying, you believe in it, like I only have control over myself, doggone it. But I wanted to talk about, let's understand how the perception about you is created. It's your own self-presentation, who you are, how you act, how you project yourself to others, plus the baggage of the beholder how someone else sees you, what word of mouth they may have heard about you, what previous experience or understanding they have about your industry or the categories that you seem to fit in. Those two things together equal the perception of you in the marketplace. So whereas we completely control our own self-perception, the baggage of the beholder is something that is beyond our responsibility. Or is it? So what I was reading this past week, which led me into the accountability thought cloud, was that we do have, whoops, sorry. What happened? Here we go. That perception is the co-pilot to reality, and how people perceive you directly impact how they deal with you. And if that is the case, then we do want, to some degree, attempt to steer or attempt to, I don't want to use the word manipulate, but even change the perception that someone has of us if it's not the perception that we want them to have. If it doesn't help us necessarily build a good relationship with them, if it impedes us doing business with those individuals, oftentimes we might say, well, it must not, it's not meant to be. And we give up perhaps too soon. When, if we have a desire to engage and build a relationship and turn an acquaintance into a customer, a client, a partner, then we want to make sure that the perception that they have of us is as good as it can be. So first we have to understand what is their perception. And then if their perception is in any way in error, if it fails to include the strengths, the skills, the behaviors that we know we do have, but for some reason have not yet conveyed to them effectively, perhaps that's something that's an opportunity for us to work on. If we want to be considered, I'm going to say some more positive characteristics: reliable and trusted and knowledgeable and creative, innovative, helpful, positive, organized, committed, transparent, responsive, authentic, energetic, consistent. If our products and services need to appear affordable, if we want to or need to be known as a good listener, then we need to turn around and take a look at ourselves and make sure that our self-presentation, our behaviors, that we have built those things into our goal system, into our behaviors that are genuinely us, and make sure that that's what we're presenting. Oftentimes when we are building our goals, we often choose goals that we feel that we can easily accomplish, or seem to easily fall in line with what we believe our business can accomplish, what we should do. And sometimes we just have to be a little bit more introspective and think outside of the box and verify, are we indeed behaving and speaking and projecting those perceptions that are beneficial to building that business relationship with others. So I'm going to open the floor and tell me your thoughts. and how that might help you be more accountable to realize the perceptions that our clients and potential customers have of us, and to build that into our goal setting for our business. What do you think?
Well, I will say real quick, I'm a Canfield trainer, and the Jack Canfield, the #1 success principle, and I've shared this before with everybody, I think at different times, but it's you're 100% responsible for your own actions. And so when I'm thinking about what Dawn just shared, I'm thinking I was listening to a training call for send out cards earlier today, but they were talking about being on social media and what you send out, 87% of what we're bombarded with every day is negative. So if you can keep in mind that, social media, everything, you may not be able to control everything that comes at you, but you can control how you handle it, if that makes sense. So do you ever find people on social media that are struggling, who are having horrible things happening because it's happened? Families die in plane crashes. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple of weeks ago, there was the 4 people that died, and they were a couple. But anyway, I didn't even realize that 2 of the people were parents of one of our members. I'm sorry, his wife's parents. But anyway, it's how you handle what's going on around you. You may not be, so when you're talking about creating an image and all of that, it's coming back to this, Dawn. I'm just saying that how you handle things, and you may not be able to stop. You can't, people might argue that if you're not eating organically and stuff, you could be causing your own cancer. How many of us sit there and look at, whether we're eating cancer causing food? But if you get cancer, I mean, we're not going to sit there and say you caused that, but we're all able. How do you respond to, how do you handle things? If you're out and you're constantly complaining, I would just say, Dawn, everybody, and you can do whatever you want on social media, but we had 2 ladies in our network who were extremely political on their social media. It wasn't who they were supporting. It was the horrible things that they were posting. That was the problem. So in that respect, I don't think anybody in our network wanted to do business with them. And it wasn't because they were 2 lovely ladies.
Mhm.
I got to be honest, until I saw that, they were wonderful people. But then when I saw that, it was like, oh my goodness. So I guess it's just, I think, how are we I mean, that's part of being accountable, is projecting an image that people want to do business with. I guess, am I bringing it back
It
to?
sounds like their self-presentation was not desirable to their audience,
Yeah.
to their beholders.
Yeah.
And if they chose not to change or not to give off anything more positive or beneficial than to the beholders, to their audience, then the audience has their right to decide, we're not going to do business with you. We'll do business with somebody else.
Right.
That is life. So in that case, had no one ever communicated to them that their self-presentation wasn't, wholly acceptable, if no one ever said anything, that would be one thing. Then they don't know that they have a choice, an option to do something different. for the sake of building positive relationships. And that's human choice. That's everybody's prerogative.
Yeah, sure.
But when we're talking in business and our goal is to build relationships, our
Yeah.
goal is to engage others, our goal is to be mutually beneficial, then we recognize that we have an opportunity. We think we know who we are and what we want to be. Every now and then we want to meet needs of other people. That's part of our business goal, right? We want to offer financial services. We want to offer health insurance, knowledge, and products. We want to offer photography services and travel services and all that. So what is it that the people that we're engaging with, what is it that they need to see, to experience, to be able to trust, to be able to believe that you are a resource that they want to do business with? Not inauthentically in any way. We're not asking people to change into
Right. Right.
what everybody needs them to be, but to consider where there's opportunity for growth and change. How can we implement and grow and develop and be more helpful, beneficial, meet those needs, etc.? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess I just would put, you take a chance in everything that you put out there, and whether it's how you're reacting to something. We've had people who, if you are going to make a political statement, you do that at your own risk. I mean, basically, and you're going to polarize part of your audience right away, right? They're just going to, but I don't think anybody, these two ladies, unfortunately, were probably reposting something somebody else had posted. And then, they may not have even realized it was such a negative thing, but I remember seeing some of it. It was pretty negative. So, I don't know, Don. Yes, I think you need to respect that the people that you want to do business with you don't need to be inauthentic, like Don said. You want to be who you are. There may be people you don't want to do business with, just plain old don't want to do business. I think we've had that conversation before too on our calls, and it's who you want to fire, or who do you want to, no, I don't want to work with that person, and maybe them personally, even if they're, somebody that you've known for a long time, and it would make such a good deal, but at what cost are you going to be putting up with their whatever to do that? I have a musician friend right now that I will refuse to work with again, and he's very talented. I will not work with him again. Unless he books it, but anyway, doesn't matter. You just don't need that headache. Yeah. Business is tough enough. You don't need that extra crap. Oh, sorry, I said that out loud. Yeah.
That's okay. I guess I want to leave everybody with the thought of, think of at least 3 adjectives that you feel describe you as a business person, describe you in your business. Think of the top 3 adjectives. And then make sure, I'm going to use Nancy's word, make sure that you consistently can be accountable for those adjectives. For someone like me in the travel business, that when Jennifer said knowledgeable, a knowledgeable expert is important in my business. I tell people that because I have connections with travel vendors all around the world, that I can help them meet their budgets. Affordable is something that is important. That I'm helpful, that I go beyond just booking travel for somebody. I also want to be the resource that they come to when they've got travel questions, when they're having problems in the midst of their travel, that I'm going to help them work out any issues with their travel vendors. So if knowledge and helpfulness and affordability are my adjectives, then I want to make sure that the goals and how I present my business and myself to my clients and potential clients, that's something that they can rely on, something that they can see in how I act and interact and engage with them. So think about those adjectives that are important to you in your business and make sure that you can be accountable for those adjectives when you are engaging your clientele, your potential customers, when you're making contacts with people. Make sure that when people are talking about you in your business, making referrals about you, that those are the words that easily come to mind based upon their interactions with you, your referral partners. And when your clients are perhaps talking in their general conversations or making referrals for you or writing I had a great time or I had a great experience working with this professional, that those words that are your key adjectives for you and your business, that those are the types of things that easily come to mind for them when they talk about you. So that's the accountability message that I wanted to share with everybody tonight, and something that you come away with. Any thoughts or comments on that? CB, Melissa, Nancy?
Homework. Says homework.
But that is such a great way to look at it, though, because even if you're at the beginning of your business or at the end of not the end of your business, you're a seasoned professional. You know what I'm saying? You guys laugh at me every time I talk. But the idea is that what are you trying to do for your, what is the image and if, I think it is important to share it in your weekly accountability meeting, which is basically what this is, to, so we can kind of say, if Nancy said something that was totally off the wall, I'd say, where'd you get that word? Are you sure? Now, I will tell you, Nancy is an awesome, I don't know. She's been reaching out to me a couple times, Dawn, with different things. Are you doing this? Are you doing that? She's, and it's like, yeah, this is really cool to have somebody that's checking on these things for me. But anyway, I would just put it out there that, spend some time thinking about it, because it really makes you think. And the words may be right in front of your face. I'm not saying it's a, CB, your whole attitude about being, that the right connections end up where I love the easygoing confidence. And I have no doubt that you're right. I'm just saying, it's just, we have people in here who are freaking out because they're trying to, they may not say they're freaking out, but you can tell they're freaking out because it's an overwhelming thing to be in business. You've got a great, you just got that great attitude that it will work when it's meant to work. And it'll work because you've got that attitude, I don't know if that makes
sense. 60 seconds?
Oh, please.
Real
Please.
quick. I don't think I have it on me. Let me see if I think I do. No, yes, I do. Awesome. You're sitting there and you got fear. You're in business. What are you in business for? You're in business for sales. You're in business for the dollar, right? You take the dollar, wad it up in your hand so tight, money can't move. No money coming in because it can't get into that dollar. No money coming out because you can't get that dollar out. If you take the dollar, you hold it in your hand, you allow the money to come and to go freely. One of the things that I always find, no matter where I am, what I'm doing, is if I give, I receive. And you've got to give with your business so you can receive with your business. And just because you give doesn't mean that the people you're giving to are going to give back. That's not how it works. The universe will take your time and reward you from another quarter, from somewhere else. And if the people who you're talking to do help you, perfect, fantastic, way to go. But just trust that if you offer your time, if you offer your expertise, the universe is going to come back and take care of you for it. You may give $1, you may get $5 back. You may give $5, you may get $1 back. But the thing is that circle always complete.
Mic drop.
Pretty much. Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. So thank you for sharing that. I think that is the golden nugget for anybody listening to the recording, even afterwards. There was a lot in that. And we love to share the positivity and the motivation amongst ourselves and with our listening audience. So again, if there's anybody out there interested in visiting with Collaborating Connections, sharing a little bit about your business and yourself, learning and growing and staying positive, we would love to meet you. We are here every Tuesday night, pretty much, at 6 p.m. on Zoom. And the recordings are posted on the Collaborating Connections Facebook page, as well as where else do we post them? Well, YouTube and on our referral runway as well. So we hope that by whatever means you're able to access this, that you take the time, check us out, enjoy us, and we look forward to meeting you. Have a great week, everybody. A wonderfully productive week. I hope that the weather continues to get warmer and more beautiful outside, and we will see you again next Tuesday night. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.